Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. This is BJ from BJ and DG Talks Wrestling. The DG of BJ and DG Talks Wrestling is this guy.
Danger Ginger, how you guys doing tonight? Thank you for showing up.
And as always, we are joined by our personal referee, Chef the Ref.
Hello, everybody. Chef the Ref.
Did you get the Venmo this time?
No, I keep telling you, I don't have Venmo. I get cash from BJ.
So this is the very first episode. This is the flagship episode of BJ and DG Talk Wrestling on the YouTube channel of the same name. So let's talk some wrestling, boys.
Sure. So, figured we could start off talking about Gunther and Damian Priest.
Start right off at the championships. Right off the top with how I started the wrestling week on Raw.
Yeah,
Gunther, coming out, addressing the crowd after his defeat at Crown Jewel, and goes and doesn't directly say anything about Damian Priest necessarily, but Priest music hits, out he comes, and we get our first confrontation leading up to Survivor Series between these two.
Yeah, I mean, Priest you would expect to come out because if somebody's going to talk trash, you're going to say it to his face. And, yes, that whole promo was amazing. But we also are starting to see what looks like, maybe a hit of confidence.
Or some cracks in the armor.
Yeah, there we go. For Gunther after losing to Cody at Crown Jewel, which was an amazing match, and he gave Cody the respect afterwards. But, is his confidence starting to fall a little bit now?
Well, that is his second defeat on the main roster, I believe.
Yes.
Singles.
Yep.
Yeah. His only other loss was to Sami Zayn for the IC title.
Yep, and that was at WrestleMania. So these are two big moments that he's now had where he didn't show up.
Not even that he didn't show up. The other person showed up a little more.
And that he couldn't get the job done.
BJ, what were your thoughts while watching this confrontation between the two?
I mean, I just can't wait until Survivor Series. It's going to be an amazing match. What I feel like Gunther is a little shaken. He has lost a little something, and we'll see if he can get it back. We'll see if Priest can get it out of him. And the promos were great. On one hand, you got Priest, who works hard for everything he's gotten, never had anything, and Gunther, who was handed everything. So it's a nice clash of two different kind of worlds.
You made an interesting point. Priest bringing something back out of Gunther. What is it that you think that you want to see brought out of him there?
That desire to win at all costs, and to, if you watch Gunther, he's always in control. He never loses, and he lost it against Cody.
I think that was a desire thing, really, though, because I don't feel like he didn't really have the desire to win there.
I mean, I feel like it was more of his pride kind of took a hit because if he let go of that sleeper hold, he wouldn't have gotten pinned. Stone Cold did it what Bret Hart did to Stone Cold. Stone Cold didn't let go of the $1 Million Dream, and he took the pinfall loss. Which is, as a little side thing real quick, that's today in wrestling history, actually.
Oh.
Because that happened at Survivor Series in 96.
Sneaking it in there.
How about that?
Just
history, relevant.
it kind of just happened. But, I definitely think Damian Priest is going to bring something back out of Gunther. Because right now, I'd rather have Gunther with his back to a wall. Because that's not something we see very often. And from NXT UK, with his championship run, that ended at what? Braun Breaker's hands and what it took for that to happen?
Yeah.
He was just absolutely dominant for so long.
And then him in that Intercontinental Championship reign, he has 666 days, and he lost it to Sammy. And that was one of his first times being in that big spotlight, just like at Crown Jewel. Didn't get the job done.
So is there a spotlight hex for Gunther, do we think? Or is it just sort of a mental like a block that he has, some that he has to hurdle over?
It could be one of those situations where he just has to get the monkey off his back. You know, like he does.
That's not a very nice thing to call Ludwig Kaiser.
Oh, goodness.
Shots fired.
Going to the other side, what do we think that Gunther is going to bring out of Damian Priest in this match?
I don't think that is going to necessarily bring anything out more because Damian Priest knows he's been in the ring with him already. And at SummerSlam,
we've seen this one before.
Yeah. So maybe he's going to come out more aggressive because he's going to realize that it's going to take everything he has and more to get that title back. And it takes a lot we saw what Sammy had to go through to get that pinfall win on him. Every pinfall that Gunther's ever taken, it hasn't been easy. You have to literally beat that man down till he can't get up no more.
So BJ, what do you think Damian's going to have to do to get Gunther to that point?
I mean, in just a one-on-one no-stip match, there aren't any stipulations?
No stipulations. It's a one-on-one straight-up championship match.
Yeah, one-on-one match. I mean, use deception, be calculated. I don't know. I mean, how do you beat a monster like Gunther? When you may be more established, you may have more time in the bigs or whatever. But I mean, these are just two giant, just beasts. It's what do you do?
It's
you
too
just
hard
go
hitters.
out there and
yeah, two very hard hitters that'll be going at each other again.
Now, the lead up to this, I just would like to say that throughout the lead up to the Fatal 4-Way that Damian Priest won, they get this opportunity. Just when they interviewed everybody's like, yeah, we have 3 legit competitors in this match and Dom. Like, yes. The disrespect to Dom is real, and I'm here for it.
I think we all are.
Yeah, I'm starting to come around a little bit on Dom, but not a lot, and it's not a sympathy thing.
I'll admit a little bit's jealousy with the Liv Morgan thing, but what can I say? I'm a sucker for North Jersey girls.
I mean, I don't know. I've been paying a little bit more attention to Dom and like his speaking parts and everything, and he's funny. It's I think the crowd should give him a chance to say what he's got to say one of these times, and they might be amused or impressed, or who knows.
Although
Dom
seems to use the crowd now to say what he wants to say as well. Like he will use them against themselves with their booing. He's starting to figure that out.
That's a next level heel right there.
It is.
He's only been around a couple years.
He's
already figured that out.
He is the only heel to ever turn super heel.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was heel and then turned more heel.
Yeah. Yeah, that heel turn.
He turns anymore, he's going to be a face.
Super mega ultra heel.
Oh man. Then now we have this whole Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed situation.
And which has been incorporated into the whole Bloodline storyline. Both teams looking for their 5th man. The OG Bloodline can't find one anywhere. Meanwhile, the new Flavor Bloodline, they found the big bad 5th man in Bronson Reed.
Before we get into that, though, I think we should give a little bit to Seth and Bronson because these two just want to fight each other. Like, they don't want a match. They want to fight. Like, I don't know. This is almost like how it was with Punk and Drew, right? every time these two saw each other was on site.
Yes.
There was no hesitation for them to go after each other.
It's like
and
there's
I'm
two
really-
dogs that just every time.
And Seth Rollins barely beat him at what, Crown Jewel?
Yep.
Like that, he kind of got lucky. What's Bronson Reed going to do to him now?
A lot more tsunamis.
Oh yeah. So yeah. So who is the OG Bloodline's fifth member going to be?
Well,
Apparently
Bron-
not the wise man.
Yeah, well,
yeah.
let's get into that for a moment with Jay or Jimmy, whoever was in the ring with him, looking at Roman like
It was Jay.
It was Jay. You gotta
Yep.
call him. You gotta call
Make
him.
the call.
And then we get that shot of him sitting in the chair with his phone. Call the wise man. And it said the number was no longer in service. And the look,
Heartbreak.
yeah, the look on Roman's face completely sold that moment to me. Like, what now? I can't get a hold of the one guy who would now know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Roman's-
It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
So Roman's real only choice right now is to maybe try to go back and rekindle his brotherhood that he had with Seth at one point with the Shield.
I mean, I don't even think he needs to do that at this point.
BJ,
One way or another, it's going to be Seth. I don't know how they're going to make it work, but it's got to be.
If Bronson's the fifth guy, that's reason enough for Seth to get involved and have no real loyalty to Roman or the Usos. Maybe more Jimmy and Roman's. I think that if it came to Jay or Sammy, he would have their backs. But that creates a very interesting story to where, hey, these four guys actually kind of trust each other right now. And there is familiarity there to where you're putting Seth into that. And it's like, we have to remember, Seth is the reason why Roman Reigns is no longer the WWE champion.
yes,
Right.
Roman
him acting as the Shield.
Yeah, as he said he would be for Cody. He would be Cody's Shield, and he took the chair shot that Roman should have hit Cody with.
Mm-hmm.
10 years of frustration, and Roman finally got to take it out on him, but in the process, it cost him the more important thing, which now you can even question because that decision also took the bloodline from him and the rank of tribal chief.
Yep, Solo usurped both of those not even a day later.
Yeah, and that brought us to where we are now.
Mm-hmm. Getting
With
ready
a
for a
lot
nice
of,
little War Games match.
With a lot of chess pieces added to the board. In between.
Yep.
Me personally, I wish it was 4-on-4 and just
That's
the
the family.
yeah. Like I didn't think this match needed.
And Sammy.
I mean, hey, if they say Sammy's family, he's not the first white guy to be allowed to be family. There is also Paul Heyman.
Well,
Yeah,
but he's
true.
not family. He's just a wise man.
Yeah,
But he was family.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he
he
was
was.
there before Roman was even born with the Wild Samoans.
Right.
And
Oh,
all.
yeah.
So yeah, you know the history's there for that. He's invited to the Samoan barbecues. All right.
Getting some of that pig roast.
Well, let's just hope that Rollins is feeling oozy.
Yeah.
We can get the match that we want.
Like I said, if Rollins is there just to take care of Bronson Reed, hey,
And I
he's
feel
doing
like
his
that
job.
cancels itself out. That could be a situation where neither one makes it into the cage. They just brawl outside.
Well, that would be interesting to see. Or eventually they finally get him somehow into the cage.
Well, at least one of them has to get into the cage because of the
Well,
nature of the
yeah,
War Games
but-
match.
Yeah, and if all
Right,
members
right,
don't enter the cage, the match technically never starts.
Right.
True.
Because the bell technically doesn't ring until all members have entered the cage.
Right.
And
You
that's
throw
when
Seth and Bronson out there first,
I like that.
because then those two just get some time to go at each other right off the bat. And then you start adding bloodline members
Yeah.
in there.
I mean, we
I
also
feel like
do
if it
have.
is Seth, yeah.
And we also have Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed, I believe, on Monday Night Raw this week. So that could foreshadow, because now the idea that they did try, I think, talking to Braun Breaker. So, there is a couple ways this could possibly go. And if Seth were to get injured, hey, bringing in somebody like Braun Breaker would still even up those odds and put him in a spot, because him and Jacob Fatu did have that face-off. And up until that moment, I didn't know I wanted to see those two have a match until then.
I absolutely want to see those two have a match. The Samoan Werewolf versus just the guy that got that dog in him. that would be just a crazy, just insane match going back and forth between the two of those guys. BJ left us.
I'm here.
But this War Games match is going to be something. And, I guess since we're talking about top stuff like that, we got the whole Cody, KO, and Randy Orton situation, too.
That is a whole situation and a half over there.
Yeah.
KO is going to be showing up on SmackDown this week after being banned this past week. So we'll see how volatile that situation can get, because KO, he's really that is a very pretty can you got there. That came out worse than I meant it to.
Hey,
Dr.
ADHD.
Rough Seas. It is a 5% coffee pale ale, and there's some pirate cats.
That is awesome.
Dogs on a pirate ship. Yeah,
that is amazing. You never see beer can art that is like really able to be appreciated like that.
Oh, there's a lot of it out there nowadays.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, let's not get sidetracked.
Yeah, we're getting into your other side.
Well, whoever makes that beer, because I blanked out for a moment, you're welcome for the promotion.
It's Dr. Brulittle and Maple Shade.
Oh,
I had
there we
the owner
go
on my channel last month.
Nice.
I guess if anybody has a chance and wants to see that, go check that out on the BJ Drinks Beer.
Ooh, even got one of their glasses too. That is fancy.
Oh, of course. I have a couple of their glasses.
Nice. Dr. Brulittle in Maple Shade, New Jersey. All right. Shout
right,
out and plug for free.
There you go. We'll be dropping in every 15 minutes or so. We'll be plugging something different.
Hey, I live in a Lego shop, so.
So then,
all right.
Something else, I guess, to talk about now would be the Women's United States Championship Tournament.
Brand new title coming on the scene. We got a nice little tournament to decide who wins it. I love the tournament to decide a new title. I think that is absolutely the way to go with it, because you get everybody with a chance, mix it down, get it down to those last two, and they get the shot at the title.
Honestly, how much I love tournaments and stuff. Part of me will always say, hey, take them all, hang the belt, put a ladder in the middle of the ring, and let's just have it out. All right? Because it doesn't say nothing more for anybody than climbing literally up to the top of the mountain and pulling the belt down. But that's just me personally. This tournament is – the first match was on SmackDown that Bayley won against B-Fab, and I'm blanking.
Yeah, I think we all saw that result coming. Yeah,
B-Fab. And it was good to see B-Fab out there just in the ring.
Yes,
reminding everybody she's a competitor as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not just behind formerly Hit Row and now the Street Profits. Now she's actually getting her own time to get a little bit of exercise in there. And she seemed to harbor no ill will towards Bayley backstage afterwards. Same was mutual. It was a mutual respect type of match thing. And then, they had issues with the people that came in afterwards.
I will say that with this tournament, I'm rooting for Chelsea Green to win this. Like
Chelsea and Piper, those two.
And I think she really deserves it. And I think she'd make a great first champion.
She would. We've seen Chelsea not just in WWE, but a lot of other promotions, and she can go and do a
Oh,
lot
yeah.
of. She definitely deserves a little bit of rub and put her little spin on this new belt. I think she could be a good first champion. But BJ, who do you think might be another person as a good first champion for this women's U.S. belt?
I mean, I was in agreement there. I mean, I'm kind of go for Chelsea.
I can see with Bailey advancing that, typically when you get a new title or an inception of a new company, just like with AEW, they put the title on Jericho for the first champion, that Bailey would be a good representation. She has
and see, that's
go ahead.
Bailey was another thought, but like I just don't want to see like that big of a name get it. I don't want it to be like, I want it to be a true mid-card title and not like you know what I mean? Like,
But, I mean,
Chelsea has never had that women's championship, so Bailey has had that women's championship.
Yeah,
but if you have the women's champion take that belt, does that put extra shine on that belt to start off?
That's where I was going to go. I was going to say, that does say a lot, that because then Chelsea Green can still turn around and beat her for the, or, now that there's a women's mid-card championship, that does give the idea that Tiffy could cash in for it and steal somebody's glory, because Austin Theory did have his cash in on the U.S. title. So there is.
We all know how that went.
Yeah, but so there is an idea of the history there of that as a possibility. Not saying it's going to happen. I highly doubt it, but
yeah. But I do think Tiffy. Or do you think Tiffy cashes in this weekend though, or at Survivor Series?
I don't know. I think she's going to be in the women's War Game match. But that does,
yeah. But has that been announced?
That hasn't been announced yet, but they're pretty much alluded to it with the end of Raw or that confrontation on Raw. Like, it's going to happen. So let's just look at that if she's going to be involved in that does make for something interesting. If let's say Nia Jax is the one who takes the massive pinfall and gets beat down, but could she simultaneously, as soon as that match ends, or on Liv Morgan, could she cash in on either one of them? Because now both champions are going to be right there for the picking after that match.
And that's what I was thinking. Like, yeah, we could see it go either way too. Like, she could cash in on Nia just as easily as she could cash in on,
Yeah, I definitely think Tiff cashes in for a world title and not the U.S. title.
Yeah, same.
Oh, yeah, I agree. I was just putting it out there,
Yes, yeah, it absolutely could happen. Probably the likelihood is the lowest on that if I were putting those odds in Vegas.
Oh, yeah, 100%. But, I thought it was worth bringing up.
It is. It is a hypothetical situation that could happen. And it's got,
we got some
much
returns.
Greater than zero chance.
We got some returns this week.
We did. Who in specific were you thinking about there, BJ?
Well, not Dakota Kai, but yeah, she's back.
Yes, Dakota Kai did return.
Which is great. I hope she can stay healthy. Because, damage control can't do without her. Anyway.
She needs a little damage control herself.
But yeah, no. The two big ones were and this was in a dark segment, so I don't know if this is canon.
Usually
Braun
not.
Braun Strowman came back. And this could possibly indicate that he's not coming back under the same character. Like, he's just getting work in. They might be repackaging him they might be repackaging him.
Interesting.
We'll see. But he did wrestle after SmackDown, I believe it was.
Okay.
Yes.
And also, the Undead Samurai himself, Shinsuke Nakamura.
Yes. That was the big return of the week. He is definitely going after that U.S. title with LA Knight.
Oh, man.
Knocked LA Knight's head off.
Yes.
Now, between having the Undead Samurai I am now a Sith Lord look going, which I completely love, by the way, because it's something different.
Oh, yeah.
And I like that Shinsuke is going to go more into that of what he kind of was in New Japan before signing with NXT. And I was in Philly when he won the Rumble. Like, I've always been a fan of his. So getting to see him back in a championship picture is great to see, and I'm looking forward to it.
He's one of those guys who you always want to see him get that bigger push that just never seems to come for him. Hopefully this time he actually gets that push. Like I would not mind at all. LA Knight's one of my favorite guys right now out there. Would not mind at all seeing Shinsuke take the belt off of him.
Oh, yeah.
I think that would be perfectly fine.
Oh, I'm down for that feud to go to like the Royal Rumble.
Oh,
you know, like let's draw that out a little bit. Let's see where this really goes now. Because last time I believe we saw Nakamura, he was feuding with Cody, and that was great with the lead up to last year's WrestleMania because they had that little bit of time to kill.
Yep. Yeah, and Shinsuke took his aim at Cody at that point. Yep. So,
that's going to be a great feud.
Yeah. Seeing him back, hopefully he is at 100%, which I would assume he is being back. But the stuff that he can do in that ring, seeing him and LA Knight going at it in performance, that is going to be some really fun stuff, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait for the promos between them. Because it's going to be very interesting because a lot of like we see it with Damage Control, we see it in NXT with Zarya and Julia, and we saw it with Nakamura before he had gone to, I guess, to Japan to go do whatever he was doing there. And that was letting them cut the promo in their language and having the subtitles at the bottom.
The subtitles, right.
Yeah, like
really
promos. Yeah. I think it hits much better, and I hope it's something that is done more often. Like, they need to, like, in front of the crowd, obviously you can't do that. But to get those recorded reviews where they're just sitting there and they're cutting their promo and we have that because it just sounds more natural and you can still get the feelings that they're trying to get out there.
Yeah, you get more of the raw emotion coming through when they're able to speak their native language and put their thoughts out there in the language they're most comfortable with. Like if we were trying to do this broadcast in Spanish, I'd be able to say a few words, but it would definitely not be the meaning we were trying to convey.
Bienvenidos de nuevo.
Look, you have me up to the number 6 and a couple other words. All right. And yes and no. No bueno.
I said hola a todos bienvenidos de nuevo. I said hello everybody and welcome back.
Where do we go?
I don't know. To Spain or Mexico.
Don't
put my lucha mask on.
All right, we're getting off the rails here, gentlemen.
Getting?
Aren't we ever?
All right, so back onto these rails, not trying to touch a third one. Was there anything else in the WWE universe this week that was particularly noteworthy?
I didn't catch NXT. Was there anything happening on NXT?
You know what?
I'm sure that I did watch NXT.
They released some memorable names from the class that was just released for this year for the Performance Center was Evander Holyfield's son and Lance Anoa'i and Zarya as part of those classes or class.
Also, there were some releases that was last week, I guess. But
well, speaking of NXT, I think it was last week, the 2300 show. That was a fantastic show.
That was that Wednesday night.
Absolutely.
And that was a show I tried to get tickets for, and they sold out in less than 5 minutes. It was like WrestleMania 14 all over for me again.
Except on a much smaller, tighter scale.
Yes. And somehow WrestleMania still sold out quicker at that time.
Scalpers.
Yeah. Bots just buying everything up. Yeah, anything else about WWE, NXT?
Tommaso Ciampa.
Yes.
Right.
His heel turn. Yeah, well, it's not quite fully a heel turn yet.
It's a heel turn.
It's a heel turn, but he's not 100% there yet. Like, he's still got that little bit of Darth Vader good in him, I guess you could say. But that Johnny is seeing.
I mean, he did tell Johnny he has to choose now.
He did.
Okay, random thumbs down. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that your system over there disagrees with my opinion.
I don't have those fun
not even
little
doing
things.
what I wanted to do now. Yeah.
But yeah,
There it is.
I've always been a bigger fan of heel Ciampa.
Ow.
And if this leads to him and Johnny having a feud on the main roster, like they did in NXT, that fans are going to be in for a treat who didn't watch NXT then.
Yeah, as soon as that backwards chair comes in.
we were talking before we went on air. I would also love to see a double turn where they are a heel unit and just kind of, run amok.
I mean, with the idea that
and then have their feud together.
I mean, we also have to tease up the Street Profits turning heel in that tag division.
True.
So turning two teams heel at the same time who are both pursuing the Motor City Machine Guns.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Who Johnny is ostensibly friends with.
Yeah. So this could turn into something very interesting. So I'm kind of guessing at some point maybe we see a triple threat match down the road with all three teams, and then it might be one of those AEW moments where there's no time to breathe and take it all in at once, but it would make for something very interesting because it seems like the Profits are more leaning back toward the heel side. And it's not forced this time, kind of how it was when they were with Bobby Lashley, because I really was hoping that heel turn would stand because I thought all three of them together were going to be something special.
And then they all
people love them too much together, so the crowd reaction was cheer.
I believe we've covered just about everything I can think of WWE.
Shall we hop over to some AEW then? Well, what happened on Dynamite this past week?
Well, yeah, we can do that. Let's go. So, let's see. We got this whole Mox and Orange Cassidy storyline and everything going on. With now, they're no longer the BCC.
They are now the Death Riders.
How long? I've been saying it since Regal left and went back to the WWE that name should have been done. That they should have already had repackaged them into something else. And I guess now without Bryan in the picture, it even makes more sense.
Yeah, there is no more Blackpool Combat Club. That is completely dissolved. This is a new entity, the Death Riders.
It's a whole new attitude. Like, it is not the same thing they were a year ago.
Maybe they could have taken a better name from somewhere other than Mox's old move. But, I mean, that's a little bit like, oh, we're the Death Riders. I mean, I'm not going to say that to their faces because they would obviously.
Oh, come on. There are some other really bad, like, tag team and, like,
I do.
What's the word? Faction names?
Yeah.
I mean, but you know what? For what they're doing right now, it is kind of fitting for them because they're just running roughshod through everybody. Like, they don't care who they're hurting. They're there to prove a point, and whatever Mox's mission is, like, it's something along. He's tired of people having fun and wants this all taken seriously.
Which, I mean, why can't you have fun with it too? Why can't you kick somebody's ass and have fun with it? That's all I'm saying.
No, you just got to be angry all the time. Beat everyone up.
I mean, let's look at it in perspective, though. How many of the matches do we almost see like? I get the idea, like maybe he's looking at it as how much pandering there is to the fans, because no matter who it is out there in AEW, usually they're pandering to the fans. You know, like something, some way. You have a couple of the guys who don't like MJF, but even then, it's all part of it. Like, he knows what they're going to do, how they're going to react, and he reacts accordingly. Which, speaking of MJF, this whole Adam Cole, Roderick Strong situation.
Yeah, Roddy got his third win, and Adam Cole did not.
And Adam Cole paid off the Callis family to handle that.
Yeah, Takeshita was not taking any shitta. It's disappointing that Cole doesn't get his shot, but you know he's going to be in Roddy's corner for that match.
Oh, he's even if not, he's going to have something to do with it in the long run. I really thought it was going to come down to a triple threat at Full Gear. I thought, or MJF would do the thing when they got the 2-2 and be like, "Hey, so for your third match, you two now get to fight it out to see who faces me."
That would have been an interesting twist, but not the way they decided to go.
So. I mean, can't get them all right. And then, we have. Go ahead.
The Hurt Syndicate. How about this trio? You know, MVP, Bobby Lashley, and Shelton Benjamin. This could be the next unstoppable force.
Possibly more coming.
I think Leo Rush definitely has the potential to join them.
Has he gotten a card yet?
Yes. He was one of the first people who were given a card, as a matter of fact. Yeah. And there's a little bit of history there, because before MVP returned to WWE, the man of the hour, Leo Rush, was the manager of Bobby Lashley.
More of a hype man, but yeah.
But that's
or the Flavor Flav.
Yeah, pretty much.
But that's the role he was in, you know.
Yeah.
Hype man, manager, they're playing the same role.
The Prince Nana.
Yeah.
These guys, once they get established, they're going to be dominant. I could see like faction warfare, like these guys versus House of Black, or these guys, you know, there's a lot of possibilities out there.
And we got Bobby Lashley and Swerve coming up at Full Gear. That's going to be
a match. Yeah.
Yeah, that is going to just be a hard-hitting affair.
Oh, yeah.
I don't see Bobby letting Swerve staple anything to him, but it's going to be a hard-hitting on the other side.
I don't think anybody really lets anybody staple anything to him, but that's another conversation for another show.
I don't know. Swerve looked like he was pretty happy letting Hangman staple stuff to him in that one match. Just walking at him laughing.
Let's just remember where Swerve came from. He was a deathmatch guy before he was in WWE.
Yes.
Right.
And then we have
MLW, right?
MLW, and I think
he was in MLW too.
I believe he also did a stint in the newer version of CZW as well.
Oh, and he was in Lucha Underground.
Oh, yep. All right.
And then we also have we now know who Private Party will be facing at Full Gear in the Fatal 4-Way. House of Black with Brody King to win that match, choking out, I believe it was Dax Hardwood.
Yep. Yeah, you don't see choke out finishes very much anymore nowadays.
Yeah, Brody King really showed me something that match. I've never seen him like that.
Everybody from that group recently has been showing me something. Like, Murphy's been getting a bit more aggressive. Black's been a bit more respectful toward his opponents, but still has that same intensity in the matches. And then in the next match, the Outrunners now have a tag team championship opportunity, which, on all honesty, I'm a fan of I'm a fan of all the teams that are going to be involved in this, but boy, do I want to see the Outrunners win those tag titles. And then
Those
that would be
belts would look
amazing.
so good over top of that neon.
Yeah. And then just last night on Collision, we had the Acclaim claim the final spot in that match, who are former tag team champions in AEW.
My favorite out of those 4 teams, Private Party, House of Black, the Acclaimed, and why am I not the last one? But out of those 4, I think my favorite is currently House of Black. I think Malachi and Brody, they're really clicking last few times that we've seen them team up.
Yeah.
The Kings of the Black Throne, their specific tag team in the House of Black, I think that really has something there, and they could definitely give everybody in that match a run for their money and come out with those belts and hold them for quite a while. I think at least several months, maybe longer.
Oh, yeah. I definitely think they're the outright favorites. And being Fatal 4-Way, we know there's no disqualifications, no countouts. So that match could go to any team. And I'm a huge fan of these guys. Like I said, I'm just rooting for the Outrunners. And this is just me wanting to see something that would be unexpected, and the Outrunners winning those tag titles.
Yeah, I would say they are the biggest underdog in the match currently.
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I would even go as far as say the champs could be underdogs in this match.
Oh, the champs are underdogs. I would definitely say I would put them as the 3rd favorite to win the match. You know, right behind the Acclaimed and Kings of the Black Throne.
And then within that division as well, FTR, who seems to not be able to put a win together.
Yeah, what is that? It seems to be a new thing. Is it some sort of a chemistry issue with Dax and Cash, or what
is
do you
it
think's going on there?
I think it's just a slump. Go back to the drawing board. They'll get it together. These guys win tag titles everywhere as they go. They'll be back in the picture before anybody realizes they were gone.
Where do the Young Bucks fit in right now in this tag division? You think?
I don't know. They're scared of the Death Riders and just sitting working from home.
Yeah, they're on hiatus.
They're on hiatus.
Yeah, they just left Jack Perry to get chained to the hood of his bus like a hood ornament and
the sacrificial scapegoat.
Yeah. Because him and Daniel Garcia are going to have a fight for that TNT title at Full Gear. Like, that's going to be something.
Yeah, Jack Perry either Jack Perry just had a match in New Japan or he's going to have a match in New Japan. I can't remember. I think I heard that today.
I know they're starting to promote stuff because AEW has the Wrestle Kingdom weekend, and they're doing 2 shows back to back, something like that.
Yeah, it must be Wrestle Kingdom then. Yeah, Jack Perry has a match.
Cool.
Yeah, that's all.
But yeah, so let's go back to the AEW title situation with Orange Cassidy and Mox. How do you guys see that playing out?
Oh, Mox keeps
Mox.
Yeah,
100%.
Not a question.
Yeah,
he is not letting that thing go anytime soon. He's got a so to say death grip on it.
I mean,
I live in a world where Orange.
I think I've only seen him touch the title when he won it, and then it went into a bag. We haven't seen the championship since.
Well, yeah,
I don't live in a world
briefcase.
where Orange Cassidy beats Mox for the world championship. I don't live in a world where that happens.
I would love to see Orange as champ. Let's not get that. I would love.
Oh yeah,
and he would be a fighting champion. Let's not get that wrong. We saw what he did with the international title,
right? Mm-hmm. So whatever belt that was, and that was great. But it's just going to be that again, with better opponents, which actually sounds really amazing now that I think of
it. Once you say it out loud.
Yeah. Instead of guys debuting or lower card guys, he'll be fighting the best of the best. Yeah. Then there's that suspension of disbelief kind of thing. Orange Cassidy. Come on.
You gotta have suspension of belief just to watch wrestling. just like you would with a movie
Yeah.
or anything else. Like
Any scripted drama.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, hey, stranger things have happened. I mean, David Arquette was world champion. Vince Russo was world champion. You know.
so was Vince McMahon.
Still better than
Wow,
Vince
but
Russo.
that yeah, no, Vince McMahon actually like is jacked. Like
At
Russo
least
is
Vince
just
was
completely
believable
unathletic.
on appearance.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, WWE had the best steroids at the time.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
And then we got the Will Ospreay storyline going.
Oh,
currently.
him and Kyle Fletcher. And,
Yeah. That's going to be a fight.
What
Yeah,
an
fight
amazing
between
promo
brothers.
That was.
And Mark Davis has returned.
Yep.
I think they have an 8-man tag on Dynamite this week coming up against the
okay.
Callis family, because somehow this has all gotten mixed together now. Since Will Hobbs is no longer under contract with the Callis family.
Yeah. He came back with issues with Don Callis, so he's more than happy to go against that family. And I'm here for it because, in my opinion, Hobbs needs to be used the way he should be used. Just that powerhouse guy. Just let him go in and just beat guys down and see how far he can take it.
Yeah, but AEW has history of putting big guys in a position, start pushing them, and just pull the rug out from under them. And it's a real shame.
Hobbs.
Wardlow.
Yeah.
Like they've built Wardlow up 3 different times, and every time he just ends up being somebody else's henchman. Instead of Wardlow should have been a world champion over there already.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like they had the crowd chanting his name like he was Goldberg, because we knew what we were getting when he was coming out, and it was much better than Goldberg would ever be in his career.
He had 5 times the move set at minimum.
And he didn't injure everyone.
Bill Goldberg.
Yeah. Wardlow never concussed Bret Hart.
Yeah.
But, I'm hoping that kind of changes, because we've seen Lance Archer and, I'm blanking here.
Oh, yeah. Yes. The other new addition to the Callis family besides... damn it. I'm blanking too. We'll figure it out when we see it on Wednesday night.
You got them as a tag team. Why am I really blanking on that? Wow. So that hopefully the big guys get a shot over there. And then you have the ladies right now who have been doing pretty well. They're Mariah May and Anna Jay had a good match last night, and no DQ match for the women's title.
Yep.
They had a really good match last night. A lot of fun spots. There was a table spot, trash can spot. Really fun. Let's see. What else is going on in the rest? We have
AEW. We can't forget to mention Mina Shirakawa and Harley Cameron.
Mina.
Yes, Mina. Such a great. Harley is coming into her own as far as the comedy aspect. Like she is there.
Yeah, when they were, what was it? Not the Johnny TV, what the QTV segments or whatever.
Yeah,
and
she had there a little bit.
And then once she got with Saraya and all that, she's finally found her character, and absolutely amazing. Like
Brian Cage.
Brian Cage, that's it.
The Swolverine.
And you just mentioned Powerhouse Hobbs, and you didn't have Brian Cage freshly on the brain.
That's an old alliance turned rivalry now.
Yeah.
But yeah. Woo. Harley Cameron has really Maple Leaf last month, or Maple Leaf Pro Wrestling, when she cut off Bully and cut his whole promo And the look on his face was priceless. Oh man, that was great. Like, she's really figured out who she is and what she's doing right now, and it's working for her. And I'm happy to sit there and see some of those segments like that. And I know not all fans are big on the comedy segments, like R-Truth, his stuff. Love R-Truth. Most fans like it, but you have those fans that are, like, yeah, no, this isn't why I watch this.
Yeah, I mean, I watch it for all of the aspects of it, the comedy included. I mean, I always loved my comedy wrestlers. I go back to Hacksaw Jim Duggan, so right there. Piper, I not really a comedy wrestler, but he had a lot of comedic aspects there.
Oh yeah,
he did so. Piper's Pit was hilarious. Like I remember watching that as a kid, and just that.
I mean, Brutus the Barber Beefcake.
Yep. Warrior unintentional comedy.
Yeah, we won't say nothing about barbershop windows.
So, anyone catch TNA?
Oh, yeah,
we did.
Yes, I actually watched that this morning. Oh, TNA was good this week. I'm very interested in seeing where this whole Joe Hendry and Nick Nemeth storyline is going, because it seems like there's going to be another match between them at some point. And Joe Hendry's video about Ryan Nemeth. Oh,
Nick Nemeth's brother. The end.
Yeah, short and sweet.
Because that's all there is to say. I mean, he had a cup of coffee in AEW, and yeah, he's Nick Nemeth's brother. The end.
It seems like the system's slowly getting back on track over in TNA. Moose just wants
slowly. They're just on track again. Moose has another belt on himself, and
that's a
Eddie
dangerous
Edwards,
champion.
Yeah. Yes. Always a dangerous champion. And Mike Bailey was actually the one who challenged Moose and lost his own belt after he challenged Moose. That was probably not a smart move by Mike Bailey, but hey, I gotta respect the guy for trying it.
Hey, he's a fighting champion. I just hope that title sits there for a while now, because we've seen it bounce a couple times already now. Since Mike Bailey originally lost it to Zachary Wentz, who lost it back to him, and then he lost it to Moose, and that's been in a matter of 2 months.
Yep.
And then we found out that at Turning Point, Jordan Grace gets a rematch with whoever is the women's champion, whether it's Masha or the Knockouts champion in TNA's case, or I believe Alicia Edwards has the title match currently with Tasha Steelz, who is the SPL women's champion, in her corner.
Yeah, Tasha. Yeah. Watching that at work, I saw Tasha there, and I was like, okay, now I know exactly how tall all of these other women are, too. Or how not quite as tall as I might have thought they were, all these women are.
Yeah. Like, Tasha's tiny.
Yes. Yeah. It was impressive to watch her work against Christina Marie.
Especially against Christina.
Yeah.
And Christina had a definite size advantage.
No, for sure. So is Christina, now looking at her size, I say she's not really much smaller than Jordan Grace after seeing how big Jordan Grace was compared to Tasha.
Right.
Yeah. But I don't know what Alicia Edwards is going to do to take that title off of Masha. Like, she had to fight Jordan Grace to get that, and Jordan Grace is no pushover. And she's not just wrestling in TNA; she's also going back and forth from NXT.
Yep. Yeah, she's doing great work over in NXT as well with everyone that she's been able to work with there. It's just made her that much better and that much stronger as a performer.
Yeah. Let's see, then in TNA as well, we have the whole Steve Maclin, I believe, and Josh Alexander storyline going.
with Eric Young involved
Yes.
as well, and Jake something in there.
No. Shout
No.
and
Gresham.
Northern Armory.
Yes, the whole Northern Armory.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Gresham's like, hey, I got your guys back, but y'all need to work this out.
Yeah.
Because
And at the
that
end of the show, we saw Macklin driving off, just thinking to himself. And Eric Young told him, "It's on you. This was squarely on you."
Casey Navarro's match was absolutely amazing. Him and Mike Santana, they put on a great opening match.
See, I was thinking of that as the Santana match, not the Casey Navarro match.
Casey Navarro is great in the ring. I got to see him live when ISPW was out here.
Mm-hmm.
And it was something to see him in the ring. He is just as fast in person as he looks on TV.
It's hard to fake that.
But it's something to where, like, you see it on TV, you know. Just like you were saying about the size of some of the ladies. It's like, oh, yeah. You know, you see somebody like the Big Show. Oh, yeah, he's a big guy. Then you actually meet him. You're like, whoa.
You are bigger than I thought you were.
Because now all of a sudden you have the perspective.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, they had...
Anything else on TNA?
Quick shout out for Chris Bay. I hope he has a quick recovery from his neck.
Yeah, for real.
Yep.
Like, that was...
Yeah, they are. They're selling action figures with all the proceeds going to his recovery efforts. So, good on him for that.
Any thoughts on where Joe Hendry and Nick Nemeth end up in the ring together again for that title? Because...
What's the next pay-per-view?
Because now they've mentioned that JBL, like, they're acknowledging it on TV and stuff. And after, I guess, Ryan saying that Hendry hurt him with his finish, you know, right before Nick's match.
Yeah.
And I really hope that when it comes back around this time, no matter what happens, there's no outside interference. There's no cheap finish to the match, because it's the Joe Hendry title picture. Joe Hendry somehow gets screwed.
Every time.
Like, it's getting kind of old, you know. Just like with the Bloodline. Like I said,
he's the modern day Dusty.
Yes.
You know, just kind of like with the Bloodline, you know, no matter how much you could be a fan of it, all Roman's title matches during that time ended essentially the same exact way.
Oh, yeah. Well, he's a heel. You know, he gets the heel victory.
But I'm just saying, like, at some point, you know, it's like, you know, you're going to see a great match. You just want to see an actual great outcome to go along with it. And not oh, hey, we got 20 minutes of great action. Now we're going to get 2 minutes of interference. And everything else we just saw no longer mattered.
It's like the Dallas Dream sequence to just explain away that whole season.
Pretty much, yeah.
If you're not as old as me and have gray hair, you don't get that reference.
You know, just like the Dallas Stadium had curtains for the Tyson Paul fight.
Oh, Jerry Jones is hilarious.
And we have already said too much about that.
Which, by the way, since I did bring up the fight, props to the ladies on the on that co-main event for that. They were the true main event of that show, and and went punch for punch the entire time. I think the judges got it wrong, but you know, I want to see that fight for a third time.
Yeah.
So then,
all right.
Anybody else got anything?
I
think we're just plugsing out.
All right.
If you guys have enjoyed this video, why don't you go ahead and drop a like
and subscribe, please? We'd really appreciate it.
It helps with the algorithm. It helps with the algorithm, and it makes us smile. And while you're at it, You can give us a follow. I'm BJ Drinks Beer 3090 on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube.
Let's see what
This
At the-
guy is.
at the Danger Ginger 1 on Instagram.
And I am at chef_the_ref.
And
And
you are watching
I was going to say also Tuesday night, if anybody watching should check out the Spocast for SPO
Absolutely, 7 o'clock Tuesday night.
on the Johnny Cashmere Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Or you can find it on the SPOWrestling.com webpage. Website,
And
whatever.
why don't you go ahead and subscribe to this channel as well? This is BJ and DG Talk Wrestling. We're going to try to get a weekly wrestling talk thing in, and there's going to be a lot more coming as time goes on. So go ahead and subscribe. You won't be disappointed.
Everybody have a great week, and hopefully see you all next week.
Adios.
All right. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
We'll see you soon.